Welcome back. So, today we're going to be looking at something a little bit different. Enlisted's been a little bit slow coming out with news and whatnot, so I think we're going to shake things up a little bit and start putting other things on here. So, I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter World with the whole Return to World thing, and I've been playing a lot of Rise, and so I think we're going to throw some of that on here as well. So, some of you may have never seen or heard of Monster Hunter before. The one in the background today is Rise, but basically it's a game where you hunt monsters, which I know sounds really, wow, creative. Who would have thought that? You know, it's literally in the title. But it's similar in concept to like a Dark Souls game, but I feel like it's a lot more forgiving than a traditional Souls-like. But it's also really interesting for a lot of reasons, but chief among them is that a lot of these creatures actually have a lot of thought and work put into them to make them behave and move like how a real creature might if they, could take that form. Now, a lot of them are over the top and fantastical, and a lot of the weapons are huge and crazy, but I think that adds to the excitement of it. Rise is a lot more fast-paced than World is, and I think World's a little bit more strategic and slow. They both have their own merits when it comes to their appearance, but they're actually both really fun and definitely worth looking at. Personally, I think I would start with World. I think that there's a ton of content there that can keep you busy for hundreds of hours. And I think it's probably the more accessible of the two, especially right now with the whole Return to World campaign. But I think it's a really cool game. I've only just started my adventures in Rise, so I'm nowhere near as far into it as World. But for World, you basically follow your main character, who you get to create, and their cat buddy. And you're part of the 5th Fleet, which is part of an expedition that goes to the New World, which is where all of these Elder Dragons have been crossing every decade or so. And you're basically there to find out why they're doing it. And so, as you go out there, you track monsters, you find them, you capture them, you slay some of them. And all in all, it's a pretty interesting game. Even though I don't necessarily think the story is like the main focus of Monster Hunter, I think they did a pretty decent job with it in World. In Rise, I haven't finished enough of the story to really be able to comment on it, but Rise is part of their mobile series, so for Switch, PSP, that sort of thing. That's where that series has normally been, but this one is on Steam, and I believe it's on console as well. But because of that, it's a bit faster paced. You don't really have to do the whole tracking and whatnot to find your creatures. A lot of them, you'll just have their locations on the map, so you can just go to them. And the combat's a little bit faster paced. There are some pretty big differences, though, in how they play. If you see me jumping around in the background, we have these things called wire bugs, and you basically use them as mobility and a skill enhancer, which is pretty cool. Also, you get palamutes in this one, which are big ass dogs, and they either fight alongside you or you can ride them, and they're super useful. I really wish we had them in World. I know that there is a mount system in World, but I'm pretty sure it's more like a taxi and less like something that you can control. But I think the main draw to Monster Hunter is for people who really enjoy boss fights and challenging themselves. So, like I mentioned earlier, you're armor and your gear in the game does matter. You can make things a lot easier for you, but there are limits to that. As you progress through the game, you unlock different ranks, and as you unlock different ranks, you unlock different, like, targets that you can hunt, you unlock different gear that you can wear, you unlock different weapons that you can use, but you also have to collect the resources to craft all of them, and those resources come from the monsters that you fight. So there is a limiting factor in how much you can overscale something. And I wouldn't necessarily say overscaling is accurate, but there's a limit to what you can build yourself up to. So other people can join you, and they can have pretty high-end gear, so they can trivialize some content, but you can also just choose not to have people join you, or close your session and only have your friends join you, and just tell them not to bring crazy stuff if you want them to. But then once you get towards the end of the game, so in World, for example, with Iceborne, once you get through the Iceborne story and you get into some of the post-Iceborne stuff, there are limits to what you can do with gear. So there can be some very challenging fights there. Like, I still need to go and do the Elatrion fights, and I still need to do Safichiva and a number of the other creatures similar to them, like Fatalis. And I still need to finish my Guiding Lens and unlock, like, the Brute Tigrex and Gold and Silver Rathian and Rathalos. So there are limits to what your gear can do for you, but it can also make things easier, especially when you want to go back and farm, like, lower tier things, because a lot of what you're crafting is your weapons, your armor, they all use pieces from these various monsters that you encounter. Some of them will require you to go back and kill lower level ones. Some of them you'll be able to just build at higher level. All in all, it's a pretty cool game. I highly recommend. So I think I will leave you with the rest of the gameplay from this morning. With my buddy Trey and I, we were running some of our side quests in Rise. But I'll probably add a lot of my world playthrough in the coming weeks to the channel. And we'll see, I might add more Rise stuff sprinkled in between that or after it. We'll see. Regardless, I highly recommend. Let me know if any of you guys have gotten out there and are taking part in the Return to World. There's been a ton of people coming back. It's really easy to find people to join your SOS flares, or just to run around and do whatever you prefer to do in Monster Hunter with. Let me know if you have gone back to Rise like I have. I think Rise is actually really cool. I know that there's a little bit of contention between the Rise fans and the World fans. I like them both. I think they both have their merits, and I'll probably put out a more detailed video comparing the two of them later on. But I think they're both pretty awesome. Anyway, as per usual, get out there, kick ass, take names, and win your games.
needs to be sharper.
Who's up for walkies?
Load it up.
And stay down.
That's some great mounting.
Here it comes! You're ready!
Got reload.
Here it comes!
Watch out for that monster. You wanna take? Load it up. Got it.
Hold on!
I'm out of here. Sorry, but I need those parts.
See you soon.
Your days are numbered. I'm gonna blast right through you.
That's all there is to it.